So, we've got an Xbox that doesn't work. We've got Blizzard's Mysterious Mayhem. And we've got RuneScape 4? Who knows? It's all happening this week, so grab yourself a Benergy drink. And we'll give you a little shot of daily video gaming news, I guess. It's not really a news show. It's just a reason for me to talk about things that I've seen and be happy and share the things that I've seen as well. So let's dive into it, shall we? I was made aware through a promoted tweet a couple of days ago now. In fact, it was yesterday when I saw it, and I tweeted about it at the time when I saw it. It's a competition run between Xbox and Final Fantasy XIV. And it's a tweet, Xbox FFXIV sweepstakes. It's only available in America and Mexico, I believe. But it is for... I saw the tweet of my own accord. And it's to get an Xbox Series X. I believe that's the name of their current console. I lose track with the Microsoft ones. They've all got silly names. I believe it's an Xbox Series X, the one that looks a bit like the fridge, and it is a promotion with Final Fantasy XIV, and it is an Aetheryte Crystal themed Xbox Series X. Comes with a blue controller. The Xbox itself is very crystalline and blue. It's surrounded in a golden metal. If you're familiar with the Aetheryte crystals, they're what you use to sort of fast travel in the world of Final Fantasy XIV. And there are story implications with the Aetheryte crystals as well. I won't spoil it, because I'm not that good to go in depth on the story of Final Fantasy XIV, even though I've played through it and loved it. I'm just not the right guy to explain things, because I'm terrible at doing so. But yeah, it's an Xbox that's designed in the theme of an Aetheryte crystal, and it looks... I mean, it looks beautiful. It genuinely looks beautiful. But there's more to it. Apparently, I didn't know this. I clicked on the tweet because that's how I found out it was only available in America. Maybe Canada and maybe Mexico. It's that side of the world. So me being in England, I have no joy. I can't take part, unfortunately, which is fine, because we then found out. Thank you to Tech Radar for doing some delving. This article is from Tech Radar, and the headline reads: "You can win an incredible Final Fantasy XIV Xbox Series X, but it doesn't actually work." And I've just read this morning. It was published 23 hours ago by Dashiell Wood. And apparently this Xbox that you can win that's themed after the Aetheryte crystal, apparently it's non-functional. It's just there, it's meant to look, it's like meant to be an art piece. So the competition is for an art piece, which again does look very nice, and if I won it, it would definitely go on my shelf. But it is very disappointing that it doesn't work. Now, the upside to this, I believe in the competition, it does say here, it is described as entirely non-functional and to be used as an art piece, in quotes, rather than playing games. So, on the upside, that is a massive downside for the competition for sure, and I can understand why people would be annoyed. However, on the upside of the competition, you can win. If you win both of these things. You get a separate Xbox Series X console, which actually works and runs games. And also, I believe reading here, you get a 12-month Xbox Game Pass Ultimate membership. So there is an upside. You do actually get a console that works, and you get Xbox Game Pass, and I'm sure you'll be able to play Final Fantasy XIV on it when... I don't know if Final Fantasy XIV is out on Xbox yet. I know it's definitely coming. But but yeah, the actual Aetheryte themed Xbox doesn't work. But you know what? I feel bad in a way, but also I feel like if I did win that, I would put that Xbox on my shelf and just never use it anyway. So maybe it is a good thing. Maybe. I don't know. It depends what kind of person you are. I do like putting things on my shelves. I mean, you might not be able to see depending where this goes up. If you're watching it on YouTube, then you'll be able to see. I've got my Lich King helmet on the shelf. I've got collector's edition for games. I've got Amiibo behind me. You know the drill. I like having things on shelves as display pieces. And I've got some plugs over there, but it's not really a practical place for me to put a console. So for me personally, I like the idea of having a non-functional one that I can use as an art piece. It's just like a big-ass Aetheryte crystal. And the fact that you have a functioning console, I can put in a far more practical place to actually play video games. But none of that matters, because I am a resident of the UK, so the competition doesn't apply to me, and I'm very jealous of whoever wins that prize in the future whenever it ends. Does it say when it ends? I don't know if it does. Either way, very jealous of the winner. Congratulations to you whenever it does end. I hope you're happy with your winnings. Now, moving on. That's its own little story. Let us talk about Blizzard for a second. And usually whenever people bring Blizzard up, recently especially, whenever people are talking about Blizzard, it's usually negative. And I want to also join that train in some negativity. I'm not going to be overly critical because we know me. I've been playing World of Warcraft now for 17 years. Over half of my life I've been playing World of Warcraft, which is a very upsetting thought. So I do want to talk about this though, because Blizzard released a roadmap of World of Warcraft late last year at the back end of 2023. And it's got the plans for Retail WoW, Retail World of Warcraft, Classic World of Warcraft, and we've got like Season of Discovery updates coming. If you're familiar, it's like the re-release of Classic World of Warcraft, vanilla, if you will, but with a few changes here and there, class changes. There are runes where you get new spells, and it's a different twist on how things used to be. Still feels like how the game did feel back then, but they've turned certain dungeons into raids. I believe it was Blackfathom Deeps at first. The level cap was 25, and they turned Blackfathom Deeps dungeon into a raid with better loot. And now I believe the level cap is currently 40. The original World of Warcraft was 60, of course. So in Season of Discovery, we're up to level 40, and I believe Gnomeregan is the current raid, which again used to be a dungeon back in the day, which I've tweaked a little bit, and I'm assuming that it gives better loot again, or upgraded loot, I suppose. I'm not 100% sure. I haven't played that much Season of Discovery. I have got a paladin at level 13, I think, and I have got a rogue at level 12, and I did have a lot of fun with what I did play. I just haven't had the time to go back to it, which is fine. I will try and make some time to go back to it again, because I would like to actually see what I'm sure people are still running Blackfathom Deeps, but I would like to actually experience it properly, because it has been a very fun experience, and I do in a lot of ways prefer the classic play style of World of Warcraft. Anyway, so the roadmap come out, and it's been giving us updates. We're now at the point where Cataclysm Classic Beta is out. I have got access. I've played that for about 5 minutes, and it seemed very buggy, interestingly. So on the roadmap, we have got Cataclysm Classic coming out this year as well. I believe it's in the summer sometime. I don't remember. I don't have the roadmap in front of me, which I probably should have before I started talking. So we got retail updates as well. We got the 10.2.5 towards the end of last year as well, or it was the beginning of this year. I don't remember. Time is a construct. And on this roadmap for retail WoW, users, players, everyone has been very perplexed at this. All it had was 10.2.6, which is the patch number, and it had a pirate flag on it. Now we've seen from certain people in this sort of community, we have seen certain items data mined, which sort of give character upgrades, and they were level 1. So people were assuming it was going to be like a Vampire Survivors type game mode, because I don't remember the items exactly, but they were like boots that give like +1 speed or something to that effect. So people were theorizing that it was going to be sort of this Vampire Survivors or Deep Rock Survivor type gameplay, like a I don't, what do you call them? Like survival games? It's like the old itch.io games, right? You pick up items and you have like swords spinning around you and they do damage to the hordes and hordes of enemies that come after you. People were thinking it was going to be that kind of thing. But the pirate flag did raise a lot of questions. People are thinking obviously it's a pirate themed patch, which it is looking that way now currently. I wanted to believe it was something to do with pirates. At the time, I definitely remember saying, oh, I think it's just going to be a hardcore mode for retail World of Warcraft, because hardcore classic has currently been a thing. And the skull on the flag, skulls often sort of indicate hardcore modes as well. I'm happy to say that I am probably wrong about that still. Now, the thing is, we still don't know exactly what it is, but Blizzard have released an update yesterday that says the 10.2.6 content update arrives 19th of March. This has been very secretive for a long time now. It arrives on the 19th of March for North America, or the NA servers, the American servers. It arrives on the 20th of March for EU. Now, a lot of people, including myself, have gotten very... I think I've tried to stay as level-headed as I can, but a lot of people have got angry online because it's been this whole secret thing, and Blizzard have said, oh, we want to keep some things a secret, we want to surprise you with this new thing. They are trying something new. So it's been very hush-hush. And if you're familiar with World of Warcraft, America often get patches the day before EU does, which I think for the most part is fine, because EU tends to generally get a better experience, right? It's annoying when new raid tiers or new dungeons come out, America get to play them first, and then they finish them first. And if there are cutscenes that are available after the dungeon or raid, then EU have always been spoiled with them. We see the cutscene while our servers are down for maintenance, or even before the servers even go down for the maintenance of the patch, depending on how long it takes. So we've never really had... And you can say just avoid websites all you want. That's not how the world works, and I think people are very naive when they say things like that. You can go on the internet for 2 seconds, and let's take Twitter for example. If you go on Twitter and your interests are noted as being into World of Warcraft and stuff like that, the For You page, which it keeps defaulting you to, you will see tweets regarding that topic. And if people are tweeting about the new cutscene that's come out or something, you're gonna see it. It's a lot harder to avoid than people assume. You could just stay off the internet, yeah, sure, but like it's 2024. Who's gonna do that realistically? It's part of all of our daily lives, I think, at this point. So yeah, it has been a point of contention for EU players, because we feel like we're losing out a little bit, which I do understand. At the same time, for raids and dungeons, doesn't bother me because things often get data mined previously anyway, apart from the cutscenes usually, but we tend to know what we're getting into before said thing happens. This patch, everyone's been completely in the dark and we still don't know what it is. But Blizzard did publish a post yesterday and it has a logo and it's actually got a proper pirate flag coming out of the World of Warcraft logo. The background they've used for the forum post is the sort of freehold pirate assets from Battle for Azeroth. So it's definitely pirate themed. I think we can understand that at this point. But yeah, it's still very hush-hush. So what it says here, I'm reading the EU forum post, so if I say 20th of March, assume that I also mean 19th of March as well for America. So it says, mark your calendar for 20th of March when the 10.2.6 content update goes live with a bold new limited time event. You won't want to miss out on the fun. This is where the second point of contention comes in. It's a World of Warcraft patch with a completely secret thing, event, a limited time event. People have been complaining about FOMO in World of Warcraft for many, many years now, and I agree. I do think some things. I don't really have a problem with, like, there's PvP season rating mounts that you can get if you get the rank of Gladiator. There are armor sets that you can achieve if you do PvP. There are mounts that you get for doing Mythic Plus. I don't think they've been good in Dragonflight, but that's a completely different topic of conversation. I think some FOMO and rewarding people that do the higher levels of content is generally a good thing. Now, Mythic is the highest difficulty that you can do in World of Warcraft. And for Mythic raids, there is often... There's like a ahead of the curve for Heroic and above raids, which is one level below Mythic. And there is a mount that you can get, which is time limited, if you complete the last raid tier before the next expansion comes out. There's usually always a mount for that one, which is fine. I still need to do that currently, but I will work on actually doing that very soon, I think, because this one goes away before the next patch, not even the next expansion. So I think some FOMO items are good. Now the Mythic raids, when you kill a Mythic boss when it's current tier, it drops 100% chance to give you one of this mount, but it takes a team of 20, so you can only give it to one person per week. And when that stops being current content, that mount drop chance gets changed to 1%. So it becomes incredibly rare, and it's still fairly difficult to defeat that raid tier. But that item is still in the game, and people can solo it maybe 3-4 years after the fact. Or even 2 years after the fact. The next expansion, you can get a group of maybe 5 people to do it. It's still only got a 1% chance of dropping, but you can go back and actually do it, and it is still in the game. I think that system would work well for other bits of content like the Gladiator mounts if there was a way to actually get them. Even if it's incredibly difficult, I think they probably should be available in some way. That would work better for me thinking about it personally. I think that would please more people than it would annoy, potentially. I could be wrong. Anyway, patches are technically limited time events, right? The new raid tier is only relevant for as long as that patch is active, but it is still in the game after that patch ends. Now, I don't think ever in the history of World of Warcraft, and I've been playing for a long time, and I could be forgetting something. I am forgetting something technically. Brawlers Guild is the other thing that I will bring up here, because I think, again, that has reasons to be time limited, and it sort of makes sense in a way. Mage Tower, again, was limited, the original version. The current one isn't, and I think the current one is better because of it. But this new pirate thing, 10.2.6, let's get back on track. I don't think we've ever sort of been told that a specific patch brings an event that is just time limited. You won't want to miss out on the fun. You can't miss out on the fun. If you miss out on the fun, you're a loser. You're a downright loser. So, yeah, again, we still don't know what it is. America is getting it first, and it is a limited time event, which I am worried about because they've not tested it. And the past few patches for World of Warcraft, they've tried to do this thing where they push updates. We had story, lore, quest lines that went live without being tested. We've just had the Hearthstone event that is currently running. That was pushed live, and it wasn't tested either. And now we've got this limited time event, which, again, has not been on the public test realms. It's not been tested by actual players. I don't know what their internal testing team is like. But the past few patches now, we've had these events that have not been tested, and they have come out in a state that is... It really shouldn't have come out in that state, right? Because they've been broken, the quest lines have been bugged, things have not worked. The new Hearthstone event, the Hearthstone event come with a toy, which is it's a Hearthstone. So when you click it, it like brings out the Hearthstone board game, but you teleport to where your hearth is set. That's how Hearthstones work in World of Warcraft. The toy didn't even work. It was just an item tooltip, and that was it. You collected it, and it did nothing. They had to hotfix it in. That, and there were boss portals for the Hearthstone event, and you had to kill those bosses to get these items. The boss portals were either spawning far too much in Stormwind, just over and over again, weren't spawning at all, or you were killing the boss and just... I think it still is the case that you just sometimes don't get loot from them at all. Things were very broken with those events, and it worries me. As a player of World of Warcraft, it genuinely worries me that this limited time event is going to go live on the 20th of March for EU. It's not been tested. And I can see it now. It's not going to work on day one, which is great because America's going to be testing it for us, and EU will have a whale of a time, I'm sure. I'm sure it will be fixed very quickly. Blizzard have done a fairly good job, especially with the Hearthstone event recently. That has come out. It had all of these problems. Blizzard have extended the event by 96 hours, and they've made updates. So the boss was spawning in one place 1 hour, another place another hour, and then the third place the third hour, and then it just went on a cycle. They've now changed that, so the boss spawns in all 3 places every hour, and they're also fixing it again, so it spawns in all 3 places every half an hour, so that people can actually get the rewards that they're after. Because there were about 20 trading cards that you could collect from these bosses, and they just weren't dropping hardly at all. I have them all now, because I had too much free time. And I am in a unique position to have that free time sometimes. I've been off from work, so I can just have World of Warcraft up in the background every hour and collect things. Not everyone has that luxury, which I can understand, so I'm glad they have fixed it. But I just know for a fact that when this patch comes out, it's not going to work properly. And people are going to have a very bad first impression of it. And I just wish Blizzard wouldn't do this kind of stuff. At least test it. Or maybe just give it a global release. Let everyone test it all at once. I don't know. From here, looking from the outside in, it just seems like that NA are going to have a rough time because it's not going to work. EU are actually going to get spoiled on what the actual event is. So does anybody really win in this event? Probably not, but I could be proven wrong, and I hope that I am proven wrong. I hope the event is great, but for me personally, the fact that it was left secret this whole time, there was no hype generated for me. I'm not that bothered. I'm somebody that works the opposite way around. Like, if people hype something up to me and I think, yo, that looks sick, I want to know everything about this thing. Great, that builds interest from me. If people just say, oh, this secret thing's coming on this day, that does nothing for me. I forget about the whole thing until it's actually there. So I do hope it's good. And I'm still holding out a little bit of hope, but my interest levels just aren't there until it comes out. Which, I don't know, is a shame. It's a limited time event. I'm assuming Blizzard want you to resubscribe to do it. You'd think they'd throw in a little bit of hype there to actually make you want to. But it's very secret. And then the whole thing's going to be spoiled when it comes out anyway, so all we know is that it's pirate themed. Great. And it's a limited time event, and there's probably going to be rewards that you can't get when it's finished. Hopefully, down below. His link will be somewhere. Go check him out. He plays games also. And he usually plays sort of unique, weird, older games sometimes. We're talking like SNES or 16-bit games occasionally. But he tagged me in a tweet from a guy that I've learned was the creator or a co-creator of RuneScape in the early 2000s. His name is Andrew. So I'm reading this article from PCGamer.com. If I can put the link somewhere, I will, because go read their articles. I don't want to like spoof off all of what they've wrote to make it pointless for you to go there. Go check them out. It's good stuff. The headline is, RuneScape creator unveils new MMO after 10 years of development. That seems like a crazy amount of time to be developing something here. But it also says game designer Andrew Gower, I apologize if that's not how you say your surname, who created the legendary, still active RuneScape MMO with his brother Paul in the early 2000s, has just unveiled a new MMO and it's releasing this year. Now, I don't really want to talk about game releases usually, but this one really piqued my interest because it's called Brighter Shores. It's been in development for 10 years. And I'm going to finish off with some happy news here, because I am going to talk about this. It looks... Now, some people might poo-poo this, and I get it, but, like, visually, it looks like RuneScape 3. And it seems to look like there's not much of a trailer. There are video footage that you can look at. It looks like it is just going to play like RuneScape. Maybe this is the last epoch to RuneScape's Diablo 4. That's such a bad analogy, I know. But yeah, if you're looking for a RuneScape fix, if you're not that bothered about old school RuneScape, it's meant to be coming out this year at some point. Q3 it says here. I don't know if that's going to be like early access or if that is the full release. But it is free to play. And it releases on PC and Mac via Steam. There is a premium pass, which we don't know the details. But it does look like it's just going to work like RuneScape. There are going to be... There's going to be combat. There's going to be like crafting stats, skills that you can level up. So it looks really good. I think I'm very happy to easily announce that I will be playing this whenever it comes out. And especially with it being free to play originally, it'll be nice to just dive in and see if it is actually good. But yeah, like visually, it does look like RuneScape 3. A bit crisper, slightly less cartoony, I would say. So I think it is a better art style than RuneScape 3. But I'm just kind of hoping that the actual gameplay is good, which I'm sure people will be able to check when it releases. So I will put the links down below. And for Brighter Shores, I would recommend checking it out if you're into RuneScape. If you're into old school RuneScape or RuneScape 3, I know they are two very different games, and I do enjoy them both. I think I do prefer RuneScape 3 just slightly more, because I'm a heavy casual, and I just sort of prefer the visual elements, and necromancy is a really good skill. If old school RuneScape got necromancy, yeah, I might be more inclined to play that maybe, but that's just my personal thoughts. But I do appreciate the many years that I had with RuneScape 2, and the amount of time that I've put into RuneScape, old school RuneScape as well. I do still enjoy that, but I don't play it that often. I don't have a lot of time. But yeah, I will put the links down below. I've hoped you've all enjoyed your shot of Benergy. Again, this is a test, a proof of concept. This will go up as a video on the YouTube channel for sure, if you want the visual version. Maybe I'll look into, if I do this like weekly or something, maybe I'll look into putting this up online elsewhere. So if you just want a voice to ramble while you're on your train journey, you can listen to this, and hopefully I don't annoy you too much. But I'd like to hear your thoughts about it. It's fun testing new things, and I've had no sort of... There's no like physical direction that's gone into this. It's just me thinking, oh, I want to talk about things that I've seen recently. So I do hope you enjoy it. But I won't ramble on too much longer, because it's been a good half an hour already. So I'll let you get on with your day. And I will end this now. Hopefully I'll see you in the next episode if we carry this on. If not, it's been a pleasure. And I hope you do check out my YouTube channel, @Boreum. You can check me out on Twitch @Boreum. You can follow me on Twitter @BoreumTV. Because apparently Boreum is some sort of K-pop thing. I don't know if it's like a ship between two characters or something. I don't know. I don't know. I didn't look into it that much, but it just seemed to be a thing that was. So yeah, I'll see you there. I appreciate you very much. Hope you all have a lovely day, and I'll catch you in the next one. Ciao for now. Bye 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 bye.